Welcome to the Kick-Ass Talk podcast. I'm your host, business and marketing mentor, Paula Hemmings. Thank you so much for joining me. So last week I spoke about time-saving tools that will help you get more done within your business. So following on from that, this week I'm talking productivity hacks. So things that will help you to work smarter, to get more things done in your business, and just to stay with being efficient with the time that you use, and just to help you stay focused on what you're actually working on. So I've got a few tips that I'm going to run through for you. But before we get over to that, I wanted to remind you that I've created a kick-ass little ebook for you guys, which really will help you to get more clients in the next 10 days. If you are in a position where you're running out of ideas, or you've just hit a bit of a low spot and you just don't know what to do to get more clients, and you just want some nice, easy ideas of things that you can implement immediately into your business that will help you get more clients, then do check out bit.ly/tips for clients. So that's bit.ly/tips for clients. Download the ebook and get booking in those new clients ASAP. Okay, so let's start with some of the tips. So the first tip that I've got for you with helping you to be more productive is to turn off those notifications off your phone. Now you might be like listening to this thinking, Paula, are you serious in life by telling me to turn off the notifications off my phone? Well, when you're working, think about how many times you reach for your phone, how many times you pick up your phone, how much times is it actually an emergency? Think about in the last week, how many emergency situations have happened through a ping on your phone. From the majority of you, there's probably going to be very minimal emergency situations that actually cropped up for you from a notification. You might have got notification to say someone's posted this on WhatsApp, someone's posted this on Facebook, this new YouTube channel has uploaded a new video that you might be interested in, but none of these notifications are moving you forward in your business. And I'm not saying to turn off the notifications all day. Just while you're focusing on work, get those pesky notifications turned off. I often set my phone to do not disturb, and the only people that can get through to me during that time is my son's school and a few key family members that may need to call me in emergency. Apart from that, nobody else can get through to me, and it's just a great time for me to just focus my energy into the tasks that I'm working on at the moment. And then when you want a break, reward yourself by checking out everything that's going on your phone. But smartphones, as much as they are smartphones, they don't always help us to work smarter. They can sometimes actually allow us to work in a way that is not as productive as it could have been. So just be very wary of that. And if the thought of just turning off these notifications are just way too much for you, and you just think I'm completely mad, at least work with your phone in another room. Pull it in another room, put it downstairs. Keep it away from you, especially out of sight, because when you can see your phone, even if the notifications are off, you'll find yourself starting to just pick up the phone and see what's going on the screen. So that's my number one tip. So my second tip that I've got for you is to work away from home. So this is for you entrepreneurs who are out there hustling from home, from your kitchen table, your home office, your corner of the living room, wherever you are. It's great to sometimes get away from home and the normal distractions of the home. So where can you go? So there's places like your local libraries, your local coffee shops. You've got a lot of these nicer pubs that you can go to and work. Treat yourself to a little bit of lunch while you're there. I'd recommend definitely taking your headphones with you so you can sort of block out the surrounding noises and just lose yourself in your work. So when you're working away from home in that way, the things that you've got around you are the things that you bring, which should be something like a laptop or your tablet and notebooks. So all the rest of the distractions of the home are gone away, they've disappeared, and you can find that your productivity is increased tenfold just by working away from home. Working away from home is also great for when you're just doing planning within your business. Don't even take your laptop, put your phone on silent, or just turn the notifications off if you can bear to, and just go with your notebooks and just see what comes out. Plan what you're going to be working on over the next month. Plan out your goals. Really look at things that you're working on. See where you can improve things, and you will find that some great things happen in these sessions when you are out there working on your business away from the distractions of your home. Now, moving on to tip number 3, and I love this tip because it's something that, for those of us who are coming from office environments, when we used to work within an office and we had lots of meetings that would go on and on and on forever, and this is definitely something that used to happen to me when I was back in the employed days. We'd have these meetings and I'd be thinking, oh my gosh, when will they shut up? Because these meetings would just go on and on and on forever. So my tip number 3 is to give meetings an end time. So often we need to go out and meet prospective clients to have a chat with them, get to know each other, or it might be people that we've met at a networking event and we want to have a coffee with them and to see if there's any way that you can help each other in business, or just to see what kind of relationship you can build. Now, we often will say a start time for these meetings, but we don't give an end time. So the meetings then can go on and on and on and on. So by giving a meeting an end time, it increases your productivity, because you can free up so much more time than just letting the meeting go on and you just start chatting and it just can go on with itself. So I think a good meeting can last between an hour and 90 minutes. That should be fine. If you know that you've only got that time limit, then you will make the effort to actually stick within that time limit. So give meetings an end time. When you're emailing a confirmation, you can say, well, I can meet you between 1 and 2:30. I will need to leave at 2:30. You don't have to give a reason why. It's nothing to do with the other person, and they probably won't even be interested in the reason why anyway. But give meetings an end time. I tell you, it will save you so much time and increase your productivity within that meeting. Okay, so I'm moving on to tip number 5, and this is one that I'm a massive fan of. I think I'm a fan of all my tips, to be honest, but tip number 5 is that you should drink lots of water. Now, you might be thinking, Paula, this podcast was supposed to be helping me be more productive. What has water got to do with this? What are you talking about? Well, water really helps to keep you focused. It really improves your concentration and increases your memory. So if you find yourself and your mind starting to wander, have a nice big drink of water. I recommend just keeping a couple of cups or bottles of water on your desk anyway, because once you've got it on your desk, you're quite likely to pick up the water and drink it whenever you need it. Where if you have to go to another room for the water, it's more than likely that you won't go because you need to finish something off, and then you'll just need to finish something else off. So you sit there starting to get thirsty and your mind starts to wander. So do drink lots of water, and it's good for you, and it helps you lose weight, and it's got loads of other benefits as well. So get drinking that water. Okay, tip number 6 is to work in 90 minutes chunks. So set your tasks for 90 minutes at a time. So are you working on your social media for the week? Do it for 90 minutes. Have a 90-minute section where you are working throughout the day. So different 90-minute increments. But in between those 90 minutes, have a break for 5 to 10 minutes at the 40-minute mark of the 90 minutes. As adults, it's shown that we can only concentrate fully for 40 minutes at a time to be sort of fully peak productive state. So go for those 90 minutes, and it also makes the day easier to organize, easier to plan. Things won't get very boring in 90 minutes, where if you're trying to work on one thing for a couple of hours, it can get a little bit boring. You might get a little bit distracted. Try working on 90 minutes a day, not per day, in 90-minute chunks on your task. But where I was going with the 90 minutes a day was to make sure that you're doing your marketing. This is a little bonus tip here, for at least 19 minutes a day. So 90-minute chunks of marketing, but then planning the rest of your day in 90-minute chunks. So I'm moving on to tip number 7, and as you may know if you're a long-time listener, 7 is my lucky number. So number 7 is to say no more often. A lot of the times we're asked to do things that we don't necessarily want to do, and things that are not actually helping us go towards our business goals. And yes, it is lovely and fabulous to be able to help people out, but if it's not a hell yes, then it should be a no. And don't be afraid to say no, especially if it's something that's going to take up your time. Now, I definitely love to help people, but sometimes I'm asked to do things that are in the middle of the daytime. Sometimes it's meetings, like people want me to go out and meet them, and I think if I go out and meet you, I work within the school run. And for those of you parents or whoever knows about school run times, that you've got a very short space of time to work within the school run. So if I'm working between 9 and 3, which is between the school run, and I have to go out and meet you, and it's going to take me half an hour to get there, and then we're going to be meeting for an hour and a half, and then I've got to get back home, and then I'll get started back on my work, then you've actually just now taken up half of a working day. So that's a lot. So I will more often than not, say no to going to meet people unless it's a really, really, really important meeting, or I feel like I need a bit of a break anyway. But more often than not, I would prefer to do a meeting via Skype or telephone, because it would only take up that specific amount of time that we lay the meeting out for, and not have that extra travelling time and setting up time and getting out of the house, getting ready, looking all fabulous. Honestly, it just takes all so much time to do all this stuff. So for me to stay more productive, I would do these meetings via Skype. Okay, so moving on to tip number 8 is to plan your day the night before. So when you are finishing off your work for the day, or maybe even in the evening just before you go to bed, start to think about the tasks that you need to complete the following day. Now, there's a couple of benefits to doing this. The first one being is that when you start your working day the next day, you're really clear. You can just jump into things in the morning. You will know what it is that you need to complete that day, rather than getting to your desk in the morning and thinking about, what is it that I need to do today? You were really clear. But also another benefit would be that if you plan your day the night before, once you go to bed and go to sleep, your subconscious mind starts to go to work, thinking about the best ways to achieve all the tasks that you've done. If there's anything that might be a little bit difficult, your subconscious mind will start to look for answers whilst you sleep. I know it's magic. Our brains are these crazy, amazing things. So that's very, very beneficial for you. Things that you planned out the night before that might have been a bit of a sticking point, you'd find that by the next morning, you've come up with this amazing idea or solution to something that was a problem the night before. So plan your days before the next day. Plan in advance. Okay, and then my tip number 9 is to use the tips that I mentioned in my last podcast. So that was the tools to keep you working really, really productively. So the time-saving tools for entrepreneurs was the last podcast that I did. So do check that podcast out and listen to the tools if you've not listened to that. And my last tip for today is to eat that frog. So this is from Brian Tracy's book, Eat Your Frog, which is all about doing the hardest, most difficult task first. So he starts off in his book talking about, if you had to eat a frog, you would pick the ugliest frog to eat first. So it's that biggest, scariest task that you normally want to shy away from. But this task is also the one that will probably move you forward most in your business. Now, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, especially new entrepreneurs, are a bit afraid of making phone calls to prospects or to people who said they were interested. They feel like they're going to disturb them and all sorts of reasons. But doing that first will get it out of the way, and you will see that it was actually quite easy. And how good will you feel for the rest of the day knowing that you've got this horrible task out of the way? Well, it's not horrible in my opinion, but it might be a task that you find horrible. So once you've done that horriblest task, eating that ugliest frog first, then the rest of the frogs are going to be pretty darn easy for you. Okay, so that's my 10 tips on how to increase your productivity. If you want to download the ebook on how to get more clients ASAP, do pop on over to bit.ly/tips for clients. And that's it for this week. So I look forward to catching up with you again soon. Do have a fabulous week. Feel free to reach out to me as always at Paula Hemmings on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. Do join the Kick-Ass Entrepreneurs Facebook group and the Facebook page. And I look forward to connecting with you guys again really soon. Take care. Do you need help and support with the marketing and business strategy in your business? Join the exclusive membership club, the Kick-Ass Entrepreneurs Club, for entrepreneurs who want unlimited email support, monthly masterclasses, guest speaker workshops, mastermind sessions, accountability bodies, unlimited email support, access to resource library and much more, check out the kaentrepreneurs.co.uk. That's kaentrepreneurs.co.uk. I'll see you there.